We are your home for exclusive interviews and behind-the-scenes stories you won't hear anywhere else. This is all about Kentucky tracks, Kentucky drivers, and Kentucky fans. We eat, sleep, and breathe it anyways, so we figured why not make a podcast about it. For 11 years, we've been keeping the bluegrass covered in dirt. Now, we're doing it bigger than ever before. We are Kentucky's Dirt Racing Podcast. Welcome to another edition of Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live, presented by Smokehouse Grill and Buffet.
And welcome to another edition, Wes Lanham. We're just rolling along here on Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live, presented by Smokehouse Grill and Buffet. A huge show coming up for you here tonight, and man, I really hope we can get some people on here live with us to hear this. I know a lot of people end up having to go back and listen on the podcast, but we've got a couple of Lucas Oil regulars, and I know a couple guys that are going to be in the hunt for the win this weekend at Ponderosa Speedway. Tyler Erb and Daulton Wilson. Man, it's pretty cool. You know, we're all about Kentucky tracks, Kentucky drivers, but this 1 week of the year, we can get a couple guys on here from other places because they're at least racing in the state of Kentucky, and it's really awesome, don't you think, that they were willing to take their time to come on this little podcast and talk to a bunch of Kentucky dirt racing fans?
Absolutely, it is, and I was just tickled to death to get the opportunity to reach out to them and see if they would be willing to come on and talk with us tonight, talk a little dirt racing here about the Lucas Oil Swing coming up tomorrow night, starting at Atomic Speedway there in Chillicothe, Ohio, and then Ponderosa on Friday night and Florence on Saturday night. So just another great show, man. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, like you said, they're going to get rolling tomorrow night, so I'm sure they're busy as it is, getting ready for a 3-day stretch here coming up. So it'll be a lot of fun, no doubt. If you don't mind, please share this out for us. Help us get our live viewership up a little bit here. I'd like to be able to keep getting some of these guys on when we have opportunities when they're coming to town, and it would definitely help to have as many people on here as we can to keep that sort of rolling. We have so much fun on here talking to drivers just in general and people involved in our sport. I can tell you last week, Jason Barrett was so appreciative. He texted me right after the show, and we text back and forth quite a bit. He was very appreciative for the opportunity to come on here, and he was a lot of fun to talk to. And, it really just makes it all worth it, helping get all these guys sort of out there in front of fans and really giving them a platform for people to get to know them a little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. We've talked about it just – seeing you see these guys at the track, but to actually get to listen to their story and see their background in racing and the family influences of how they got involved and different classes they've raced in and different tracks they've hit, and then to talk to Jason last week and 6-time champion there at Richmond. So, just really cool to get to talk to these guys in all of the classes, front wheel drives, hobby stocks, street stocks, crates, open wheel modified, supers, all the classes. It's just awesome, and I'm just having a blast doing it.
Yeah, it is. I agree. This I forgot to mention, Wes. This is the Bluegrass Restoration and Construction Studio, and we certainly appreciate them for their support. And we got to meet them a couple weeks ago and at the racetrack, and so that was very cool. This segment is sponsored by the Detail Shop. Call the Racetrack Connection hotline. We want to hear from you. It's 859-412-1287. Let us know who you think will win these events coming up this weekend with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. We're going to pick the winners at the end of the show, Wes. We need to get back to that. I forgot a couple times on these shows here this year, but really want to get back to that and see who can win that steak dinner. Hopefully this year you'll be buying me one. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, that was a cool little deal. We had competition against each other there last season, and a lot of fun. And I was fortunate to get the W and eat a big steak dinner there from Texas Roadhouse in Richmond, Kentucky, and it was delicious.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we gotta get back at that. We need to start it off right now.
Yeah, I'm with you. So we'll do that coming up at the end of the show. Like I said, let us know in the comments who you think will win Friday night at Ponderosa and then Saturday night at Florence. So yeah, I mean, really, like I said, looking forward to it. Some other events, we'll talk about other events going on around the state here in just a little bit as well. But Wes, real quick, before we get these guys on here, I want to just sort of recap the weekend. So my plan was to make it to each track for opening night. And if everything had worked out, I was going to get to go to every racetrack, all of our area tracks. Unfortunately, that didn't quite work out. Lake Cumberland this past weekend, I was planning on going there on Friday night and then Richmond on Saturday night. Unfortunately, it rained them out. Of course, they made the right call there. Rockcastle was fortunate to get that event in. It poured the rain at my house, and I live in Richmond, so a good call by them, but unfortunate because I really wanted to make it to all those tracks, and they would have had a good field of cars as well. But like I said, we'll make it to Richmond soon enough, and some of these other tracks. But I did end up going back to Rockcastle Speedway. They ran, Mudlick ran. They were the only two tracks in the area running on Saturday night. So, man, just cars galore. I mean, they had race cars and haulers and trailers parked. I mean, just shoved in anywhere they could, just room enough to make it work. And man, there were just so many cars. I heard 139 race cars. Also heard 126. I don't know. I just know there was a bunch, and and a whole lot of race cars. And so that was really cool to see. And the other thing that was awesome to see, I'm not just saying this, and I think a lot of people who were there on Saturday night will agree with me. It was the best racing I've ever saw at Rockcastle Speedway. I mean, I'm telling you, man, like it was just the track surface was perfect. I mean, absolutely spot on, and just great racing. I mean, that modified feature, the last, I don't know, 10, 15 laps or so, you could throw a blanket over the top three. Brian Barber and it's eluding me who was in second there. I should know this. Yes, Stricker was in second, and Stricker, of course, made a pass for the lead. Barber got him back. Just really cool to see, man. It was a really good race. And then in that crate feature, Linville comes all the way from the back, 19th, I believe it was, and ended up coming up to second. Just an awesome racetrack, an awesome race, and it was a whole lot of fun to be there on Saturday night.
Yeah, I really hate that I was unable to make it. It just didn't work out. I had to work. I had a really busy day, day and night both, actually. Had camper appreciation events going on in the campground there at the park, and had 91 boats in a high school regional state qualifier bass fishing tournament there that morning, and so I was a very busy man, but I was keeping up and having updates. You was sending me stuff, and then I actually got to go back and watch some Race Rumble, with Soxy's videos, and that track was just, I'm telling you, it was on point, and hats off to everybody there, the staff at Rockcastle, and I even saw earlier today they're already starting track prep today, getting ready for this weekend. So they've got it figured out, because that's back-to-back weekends that track has really been bad, fast, and racy.
Yeah, it really has, and so really, good to see. Like I said, I mean, I just had a whole lot of fun. Had a Rockcastle Speedway cheeseburger to cap off the night. So I mean, it just couldn't get any better, because another thing, man, that many cars, I don't know, 136, 139 something, a lot of race cars, and the whole show, everybody's saying it's going to be 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning it's going to be 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. People commenting, you got that many race cars, it's going to be 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. The show ended, all of it was finished at 11:50 p.m. Just
That's
awesome, man. Like, because I'm telling you, that is something that is so very important. I don't know if people realize, drivers sometimes realize, man, fans, you got kids. I mean, my 7-year-old was there, and like, I mean, you know, it was a ticking time bomb. And so to get that show over with, it was a good ending, good night. They got it over with early. We saw some good racing, and you know, it was just awesome to see. It really was. You know, I heard and saw some complaints about the fact that they cut heat. And you know, I'm going to say this. Look, I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't own a racetrack. I no longer own a race car. I used to. I understand from a racer's perspective, you want to run heat races. I do. I get that. I also see it from the point of view of the racetrack. I mean, you got to understand there were, let's just say, extenuating circumstances there, right? Like it was out of the norm. They had so many race cars. There was weather on the radar. It was raining in Richmond, so many things going on. They had to do something, and they did the right thing in that situation. I don't think they had any other choice, and they made the right decision. They did what they should have done in that case. You know, as a racetrack, they've got to think about those fans. Rockcastle has in the past struggled to keep a fan following over in those grandstands. Yeah. And these racetracks, man, they need those fans. They do. And in order to keep those fans, you can't keep people there till 2 or 3 in the morning. You just can't. I remember one night when I was racing, pulling out on the track at 2:30 in the morning for a feature. Guess what? There was nobody left in the grandstands.
I bet you was half asleep, too.
I was half asleep. I wanted to be in bed. I was having to go out there and race. I wanted to be in bed. Sometimes things happen, and tracks have to make decisions, and they made the right decision. So I saw some people saying, well, they don't care about support classes. I hear that about every track, every time they have to make any sort of decision. Truth, that is just not the truth. Of course they care.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't they care? Of course they care. So they made the right decision. You know, it's kind of one of those things. You know, sometimes I feel like you have to take a step back and look at it from the viewpoint of the other side.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes we only things from our own perspective. We're not able to see things. You know, we're not able to see the whole picture, if that makes sense. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I think they made the right decision there. You know, another thing I saw it this way too. I mean, you think about in any situation, and as a racetrack man, that has got to be one of the toughest jobs you could ever do, because there's so many aspects to control. You know, they're trying to keep fans happy. They're trying to keep drivers happy. All this stuff. And it's a tough gig, and all of our tracks are doing a really good job. And I think the best thing we could do is just support them in everything they do.
110%. We got to continue to support them, and I don't like to see the negative comments. And you know, you and I have talked about this. You know, they're doing their best when they have to make decisions like that. That's a tough decision for them. But they've got to make the best decision for everybody involved. And I think last Saturday night, Rockcastle made the best decision.
Yep, they did. No doubt in my mind about it. And so it was like I said, overall a great night. Thankful for everything they're doing over there, and all of our promoters, track owners, and the hard work and effort they put in. Thankful also, you know, the same time for our drivers, because I know they work hard and do, you know, go through a lot just all combined. Racetrack owners, crews, drivers, everybody. They do a lot just to give us a few hours of entertainment on Friday, Saturday night, you know, whatever night they're racing. So Mud Lick also had over 70 cars. You know, that's awesome to see for them. I mean, with all the work they've put in to that place in the off season, and the 2 weeks, 2 great fields of cars, and great things over there.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to making the trip up there as well. That you got to go early to their season opener, and yeah, I need to make a trip up there to Mud Lick Valley and take in a show up there.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You'll get there soon enough. We both will. You know, that's one thing about it. He said, you know, it's hard to. We want to be at all these places, and we will. And I enjoy all of our tracks. We'll get back up there soon enough, and everywhere else too. So soon enough. Well, let's talk a little bit because we're going to have these drivers on just real quickly. Normally we do this at the end of the show. I want to go ahead and do it now. Let's talk about our weekend outlook. So, of course, Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series at Ponderosa Friday night, and then they're going to be at Florence on Saturday, so that's exciting. Of course, this is Lucas Oil Week here in Kentucky. We get this week with Lucas Oil, and then we also get the North-South 100. This is our first big national week of racing where the spotlight's on us here in the state of Kentucky. So really, really excited about having them here. It's a good thing overall for our sport.
Yeah, it really is, and then you get to add in also the big show at Atomic on Thursday night. Kind of kicks everything off, and that's just an added bonus. I know they didn't get to have the Buckeye 50 race; it got rained out earlier in the year, so that's going to be an awesome show up there because you've got Lucas Oil late models and then also the All-Star sprints. So that's going to be a huge doubleheader. With both of those classes on Thursday night. So
yeah,
that's cool. But yeah, it's awesome that Lucas comes to town here at two of our local tracks, and the spotlight gets put on the state of Kentucky a little bit.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's really a good deal, and thankful that they're coming, and these tracks that have brought them in here. It's really an awesome thing. So, also Thunder Mountain Speedway returns to action with their first points event. They've had a couple of events up there on the mountain, but this is going to be the first points event for those folks up there at Thunder Mountain Speedway. So I know there'll be a lot of drivers there getting started with a points back. Coming up here at Thunder Mountain Speedway. Rockcastle Speedway also back in action on Saturday night with their first points event. So two of our racetracks with two starting out points, and so I know there'll be some good battles going on there. I know some championship rings and other things going on at both of these tracks. So it'll be a lot of fun to see the locals and the regulars get to battle it out for some points too.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's something we've talked to some of these drivers we've had on the show, and they're really looking forward to competing for championship at our area tracks. So that's really cool, and good luck to all of them starting out this weekend.
Yeah, it is. It is very cool. And then a regular show at Mud Lick. This will be their another regular show up there for them. I know next week they've got a big super late model show coming up, but this week at Mud Lick, a regular show. So that's your racing outlook for this weekend. It's a big one. Get out and support your local dirt track wherever that might be. So. Yes, Greg, we did talk about Rockcastle on Saturday night. Go back after the show and listen to it. We got some good, hopefully some good commentary there for you. And this podcast is also available replay on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So you can always listen on there as well. Well, let's go ahead and get these drivers on the Dirt Racing and the Bluegrass Live podcast. A quick commercial break, pay some bills. We'll be right back on here with you. When we do, we'll have Daulton Wilson and Tyler Erb on here with us, getting ready for that big Lucas Oil show starting tomorrow night at Atomic and then Friday night at Ponderosa Speedway. We'll be right back with you here in just a few minutes.
Racetrack Connection is a social media app designed specifically for racing. On the app, you can find a track, find a driver, review and print track schedules, and use the chat feature to communicate with other fans and drivers at any event. There's even a map feature where you can locate racetracks all across the U.S., plus many other features, all for free. Download the Racetrack Connection app today. Donnie Kaufman used to say, "It's good enough to make your tongue slap your brains out, honey." That's what we think about the home cooking at Smokehouse Grill and Buffet in Berea. Choose from the delicious options on their home-style buffet and salad bar, or order from the full menu. Not to mention their desserts and some of the best breakfast you'll ever eat. We promise you'll never be disappointed with this racing family-owned business. Visit their friendly staff and grab a bite to eat. Located just off exit 77 in Berea.
Hi there, I'm Alan Feldhouse Jr., head basketball coach at Madison Central High School. Here at MCHS, we have built a winning team. I'd like to tell you about another local winning team, family-owned and operated Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. They specialize in roofing, general construction, and home maintenance services. Just like on the court, you need a team that will work together to get the job done, and that's exactly what BRC does. Give them a call at 859-353-1133. Road Tribe.
And welcome back to the Dirt Racing the Bluegrass Live podcast. This is sponsored by Dirtman Diecast. This is the Bluegrass Restoration and Construction Studios. And we are now joined on Dirt Racing the Bluegrass Live by Tyler Erb and Daulton Wilson. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on here this evening.
Yeah, appreciate you having us on.
I'm sitting here. I'm trying to. I feel like I'm hearing. Hey, so somebody's got to be close to the interstate because I'm like, what in the world's going on in my head, or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm losing it. I'm not sure. That definitely could be the case. Tyler, I noticed just a minute ago, you were in. I think I recognized your location. Looked like you were walking through Walmart. I thought we were going to get to have a conversation with you in Wally World. Hey, that'd have been cool. You could have just hung out in there if you wanted to.
Nah, we were at Lowe's. I got one of the kids that works for me now. He's him and his dad are refurbing the upstairs of my house. I got a duplex, and it's gonna be where he's gonna stay. So I'm making him do all the work right now, and I had to bring him up here and get him some more stuff so they could stay busy till we head out tomorrow and go to Atomic.
Yeah. I got you, man. Well, I was going to say, I figure you'd be busy on a race car and got a lot of things going on. Probably better stuff to do than join us on here to talk about racing in Kentucky. But we definitely appreciate the two of you for joining us. It's pretty cool. Wes, I think it was, I don't know, what was it, Monday? He said, well, I think I can see about getting Daulton Wilson and Tyler Erb on here with us with Lucas Oil coming up. So really a cool deal, and means a lot to, I know, a lot of our fans that you all would take time out of your busy schedules to come on here with us.
It's all because of Big Perm. That's why we're on here.
All because of Big Perm. Looks
That's
like
right.
Big Perm's on the road to Atomic.
Can y'all hear me?
I can't.
Yeah.
So that's the noise. He's traveling down the road.
Yeah, he's in a rig. It's quiet where I'm at. I had to walk out so I get in quiet space.
I thought that's what he was doing. You rolling on to Atomic, ain't you, Big Perm?
Yeah, we're headed that way.
Well, I noticed. First thing I noticed is Big Perm. The Big Perm anymore. What happened? I mean, you gotta keep the perm going, man.
The perm was getting out of control, man. So we're gonna be on the road for a month, and they had to back her down a little bit and start over.
I got you. Too much to control going up and down the road.
That's right.
With all that hair. So, well, try to get to a little bit here, Wes. You make sure you jump on because you're the reason both of these guys are on here. If it wasn't for you, they wouldn't even be on here.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna take this thing over. I'm gonna let you talk.
That's funny that Daulton talked about his hair getting out of hand. When I saw him a couple of weeks ago at Brownstown, I mean, that baby was wild. That hair was everywhere. I don't know how he fit it all in that helmet.
It was getting pretty wild.
Yeah. Probably slowing you down a little bit too.
I hope so. I hope that was what it was.
Yeah. Did you have to go down a helmet size
No, I actually have two different size helmets, so we just have to use the other one now.
Oh, okay, I got you. Well, hey, at least you're prepared for the haircut. So that's important for sure. Tyler, you're coming off win number 2 of 2023 at the Brownstown Bull Ring. It looked like a fun little racetrack up there. Kind of, sort of. I know the surface is different, but kind of reminded me of Ponderosa Speedway a little bit. I don't know. You can give me your thoughts from a driver's perspective on that. But anyways, congratulations on the win, and I know you're looking forward to this weekend coming up at Ponderosa as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Fayette County used to be Fayette County. Now it's Brownstown Bull Ring. I've been there quite a few times, Summer Nationals racing and stuff, and everything in Illinois is good. I don't know what they do different or why, but all their tracks just seem to race really, really good. And it was good for us to, go out and race. We've been rained out, after we left East Bay. We didn't race for almost like 2 months. And even since then, I've raced, I think 7 races since Florida. And I think 100 of them were at Bulls Gap. So I'm excited to, start venturing out and going to other places and stuff. And Ponderosa's, it's kind of a one-off. It's a circle. It reminds me a little bit of that, a little bit of Why Not. It's unique, and I like it. It's really a lot of fun when they get it right. It's a really good track, and I haven't been to many in Kentucky. Florence and Ponderosa's, Richmond once or twice, but yeah, I definitely like this swing. I'm glad we're not going to Cherokee. Sorry for all the Cherokee chatter listeners hanging out right now, but I enjoy going to good racetracks where you can make stuff happen. And looking forward to it. Atomic, we've won quite a few races there, and Ponderosa, been there 3 or 4 times and had some good runs. And Florence is one of the closest tracks from our house. This is Atomic's an hour and a half from our house, and Florence is only 2 hours. So it's a good weekend for us, and gives us a chance to, race in front of some of the people that hang out at the shop and support us, and looking forward to taking some of their money.
Yeah.
Daulton, what do you think about that comment about not going to Cherokee? That kind of being in your backyard.
He
lost him.
He hit a dead spot. He crossed a river, crossed a bridge, and he just completely lost service there. Well, yeah.
Right now.
You think so?
He
Could
loves
be.
the casino. Big Perm's a gambler. He loves the casino.
What does Big Perm go to the casino for? I mean, what's the
Blackjack,
you gotta let us
keep their lights on is what I'd say, because he likes to go and he ain't scared to play, and that's one of our favorite things to do. That's why I like traveling with Big Perm. I'm his wingman and we go play blackjack. I thought I liked to play, and he loves it. It's the only thing I've ever seen him do and smile like he is right now.
He's too serious at the track, ain't he?
He's all business when he's racing.
He's all business, yes.
get him away from the track and get him to the casino to some blackjack. So who's better at blackjack, Turbo or Big Perm?
Me every time. I know when he quit. Perm probably pulls more money out of there, but he probably gives him a lot more to divvy out. So I'd say he's more of a professional. I just like going just to sit by him when we play, really.
So you're his good luck charm when he wins.
Oh yeah, every time.
Yeah, no doubt, and it's a trip to the casino is always fun. The way it always works with me is I start out, I'll win a couple of times. I'm like, man, I'm doing this. I'm going somewhere, and then I'm gonna throw a little bit more on this, and then before I know it, I've lost everything I've won, and then everything I brought with me. So unfortunately, I don't have great experience. It's a lot of fun, so at least it's a little less serious for Perm. Get him away from the racetrack and get him loosened up a little bit.
Well, one thing he hadn't told you is that there's one machine in there that always pays. Tell him what machine always pays, Perm.
Huh?
Which machine always pays at the casino?
Well, the only one that always pays is the ATM, as long as you got money.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
that ATM machine. Yeah, that was what I was going to say.
No, Number 11, Spencer Hughes will get you paid on the roulette table. That's Turbo.
Okay.
Does, yeah. Spencer gets
Okay.
some money. We play a little roulette too. Roulette always does well. Bet Spencer, Perm, Michael Jordan, me, and we do not bet the zeros. Not a chance. Ross, yeah, you always bet Ross, big boss. Yeah, never bet them zeros. No good.
Well, at least we'll learn a little bit of something about a trip to the casino here on the podcast tonight. We'd rather talk about we'd talk about anything. That's one thing that's for sure. We did spend 3 hours on here with James Essex earlier in the year. We talked about a little bit of everything, and I think Wes was ready to go to bed on that one. But yeah, I mean, maybe Wes, we can go up to Florence. We'll be closer to some casinos there. Maybe we could make a trip to the casino with.
Yeah, that would be
and let you show them what you've got.
Yeah. I'll play the penny machine.
Yeah. So, Wes will have you at the arcade instead of a casino if you don't watch him anyway. So that's for sure. Well, sorry for all the fans over in Cherokee that was hoping to see a Turbo over there. He's coming to the Bluegrass State. He's coming to Kentucky's baddest bull ring. You mentioned it a little bit there. The Brownstown Bull Ring is like any other Illinois track. It's super racy. But there was another question I had for you is any tracks on the circuit that are similar to Ponderosa, or do you think you said it was like a one-off? But what is it that makes it so unique? Fans around here like to talk about how it's a circle and there's no straightaway. Does that make it more challenging for you all since you don't run here all the time? You're always traveling up and down the roads?
We race at a lot of different places, so it's just another one that you go to. You get you some notes and try to have a good plan going in. But it is a circle. The front straightaway is, it's not a straightaway. It's round, so it's about like the Zencan right here. But it's just something that once you race there and you kind of get a feel for it, you get a better idea of how to race there. And qualifying anywhere we go is super, super important. And Ponderosa is about like any other place. If the heats are kind of one lane single file, then the feature's normally going to be pretty good because it gives it time to move that top up and make it to where you can run around the top or run around the bottom. But for whatever reason, I feel like 3 and 4 always feels racier to me than 1 and 2. 3 and 4 just the bottom's like a tight corner to another round corner getting into turn 1. Turn 1 gets a little narrow and a little hairy sometimes, but it's it's a lot of fun. I enjoy going there. It's it's the right size, not too big, not too small, and it can produce really good racing. So it's just, I wouldn't even compare it to anything. The dirt's Kentucky, kind of red-ish dirt, clay, and it's round, but not as round as I don't really know what you could compare it to. Maybe Perm would compare it to Halifax County or Fayetteville or something, but I don't know where I've been that would kind of be close to it.
No. What do you think about it, Daulton?
I think about the only place that you could relate Ponderosa to is Lake Cumberland. So it ain't. They're kind of each one off. So. I enjoy going over there. Though we went over there a couple times last year, and Justin runs really good over there, so it's neat to go race with them guys, and that's home for James and them, and it's cool to go be around the people that help me get up and down the road. So we're really looking forward to it. Yeah.
Kind of tell us how this deal between you and James and Justin kind of come about.
It all got started there, with the phone call, and they didn't know me and I didn't know them, but I don't think Gullett's ever met a stranger. So he took me under his wing and got this deal rolling, and it's been really good so far. So I hope I'm making them proud, and James and Justin and the whole Rattliff family. They can give us everything we need to get them down the road and compete, and Gullett's probably one of my biggest fans, so to have him around and be a part and just kind of mentor this deal is is really huge because, like I said, Gullett's been around forever, and there's not really a situation that he hasn't been in, and for him to help us get through it, and I think it's been a really, really cool deal.
Yeah, I mean, you look at you coming to that team and just how well you all have gelled, and to get to work with Gullett and Tungett. I mean, those two, in my opinion, are two of the best in the business, and they've been around the sport most of their lives. They've drove the cars, they've worked on the cars, they know the situations, and they're just super people. And then the Rattliff family, that's another family. All of those guys have just been so good to me the 5 years that I've been here in Campbellsville, and so I know it has to be a blessing for you to join that team, and you all have been successful, and like I've told all of them, I think it's a great fit for you coming on board, and I look for big things in the future, and looking for you all to have a great year this year.
Yeah, that would I sure hope so, and it's really been like I said, it's been perfect for me, and and they understand that that I'm growing and learning, and they're they've been around this sport a long time, and they understand what it takes to do this deal, and for them to give me the opportunity to grow and stand behind me, and like I said, Gullett and Tungett, they're some of the best mentors you could ask for, and they've been around the sport for a long time, and they've raced in the area, but they've raced all over too, and they really just understand what we're going through, and it's been a pretty special deal.
Well, and Justin's a former Lucas Oil Rookie of the Year too, so he's had his success in the past there as well at the top level. So a pretty cool deal.
Now that's what I was talking to somebody the other day. Justin doesn't get to race much anymore, but he can line up with the best of them around there, especially. So I'm looking forward to that too.
Yeah, is he planning on running this weekend?
As far as I know, he's running Ponderosa Friday night. So, he's got a lot of laps around that place, and he tends to run pretty good there. Yeah, he does. So I guess a lot depends on how everything goes Friday night if he'll run Florence on Saturday. That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know it's got to be tough on you guys with the schedules, the way they've lined up. Of course, you've been doing plenty of racing, but it seems like over the last little stretch, everything with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series has been a bunch of rainouts, and hopefully you can get this weekend in on Friday night over there at Ponderosa. I know the weather forecast keeps looking a little bit better as we move closer to race day. So I know you got to be itching to get back to business here and get some races in with Lucas Oil for sure.
Yeah, we were planning on coming over to Ponderosa a couple of weeks ago, and the weather got us, but we're definitely ready to get going. We got a pretty busy stretch coming up. We'll be gone for a while, and hopefully we got everything ready to go and get started this weekend somewhere that I've had an opportunity to race quite a bit there last year. So I really hope we get that race in Friday night.
Yeah, we hoping we get all three of them in this weekend.
Yeah, I hope so for sure. Well, question that I had for you guys. I know you guys are both busy trying to get stuff done coming up here for tomorrow night and get to Atomic Speedway. But we're really looking forward to seeing you here in Central Kentucky. This is our little base around here. We get a couple of weeks every year, and you might have a few more fans in the stands here locally. Hopefully from coming on this podcast. I know you got a lot of fans as it is. We've seen a lot of comments here from people commenting, but if you, I know you guys are big buddies, but if you come down to it for the last lap at Ponderosa, Daulton, I know your ownership is right here close in Campbellsville. Are you throwing the slider on turbo for the win at Ponderosa on Friday night, or we'll throw in Florence there as well? You gonna throw the slider? Would you do him dirty for a win and for the home, I guess, crew crowd, anyways?
Absolutely, 100%. We'd probably take the carburetor off the 1T if it come down to it. And then I'd have to put it back on, but for sure.
The thing about it is, though, you kind of got to be faster than me to catch up, so that ain't happening.
I think we've got the phone has been handed off, and Tyler Erb looks a little different. He's got places to go and people to see tonight.
Hey, my name's Roach. I'm Tyler's tire guy. He passed the phone to me.
Well, hey, that's good enough. We know what we're fine with the tire guy. So let me ask you, since you're speaking on behalf of Tyler Erb, if he do it, if it comes down to it, tire guy, and Dalton's out there in the lead, and you're coming final lap, are you throwing the slider? Or are you taking the nose off if it comes down to it?
If I'm on the sticks, I'm telling him to blow the deck off and run him over. especially after those comments. Well, guys, it's been a lot of fun. Like I said, we appreciate both of you all joining us on here this evening. We're to seeing you this Friday and Saturday night here in the Bluegrass State. We're definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us on. Glad to be here.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
Y'all
thank you all.
Welcome. We thank you all for coming on, and good luck this weekend. And we'll see you at Ponderosa and Florence both for sure.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks.
All right. See you guys.
See y'all.
All right, Tyler Erb and Dawson and his tire guy there at the end. He ran out of time, Wes. He had places to go, people to see. So
yeah, he had to leave the Lowe's parking lot, go work on that duplex.
That's right. We'll take what we can get for sure. So hey, you know what? We just roll with it. We roll with it here on Dirt Racing and the Bluegrass Live. So
absolutely, we do.
Yeah. But like I said, thanks for them coming on here and spending a little bit of time on a little old podcast about dirt racing in Kentucky. Those guys are used to flow racing and all the big time stuff. So
yeah.
So it's pretty cool that they were willing to do that for sure.
Yeah, I just thought it was cool. I know you and I had talked, and I said, let's get Daulton on. Let's see if he'll come on, and with his connection with James Rattliff Motorsports there out of Campbellsville. And then I thought, well, we got him on, and I said, Daulton, you think Turbo would come on the show with us? I know they're big buddies. And he said, well, I don't know. Let me ask him. And Turbo was like, yeah, absolutely. So cool to get those two guys on our show, and that's just really awesome. Yeah, hoping they both have good luck this weekend.
Yeah, I agree. And the weather Matt Gager there, he said the weather looks perfect, and I agree. It does. It looks good. I was getting a little bit worried earlier in the week, but like I said, as the week goes on, as it has the past several weeks, it's looking better and better, and so I think it's going to be a good night to come out to Ponderosa Speedway on Friday night and see the stars of the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. I know I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. Wes, let's do one more thing here on the podcast this evening. I want to hear from you all listening as well. Comment, let us know who your picks are, but let's go ahead and pick the winners. We'll start with, of course, we'll start with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series at Ponderosa on Friday night. And since you won last year and I had to buy you a steak dinner, Wes, I'll let you have first pick.
First pick, and this is tough. The field is going to be stacked at Ponderosa, Florence, all weekend. You know, the picks could go 100 different ways. I guess I'm going to have to go with a gut feeling pick at Ponderosa, and he is really good there. And you could probably consider that another one of his home tracks, but I'm going with the 157, the Winfield Warrior, Mike Marlar, to win there at Ponderosa. He's tough there, and I think he gets it done on Friday night.
I was afraid you'd pick that. I knew given that first pick was a mistake because that was going to be my pick. But you know what? You deserve it. You won last year, and so there you go. I'll give that one to you. Well, I tell you, someone, it just really this all comes down to how the track ends up. Well, I mean, it can go a whole bunch of different ways. We all know that. I expect that it'll be a bit of a heavy surface, especially if we can get some precipitation on Thursday evening or somewhere around in there, and I think that would be a good thing. Of course, Larry Yance always does a great job. Man, he's been prepping that track surface, I think, since I've been alive, and he knows what he's doing there. It's all in good shape. If there's a top, and I assume there will be, because there usually is, if there's a top, I'm going to go with. I know he's big time at Florence. Won a couple races there, but he's won some at Ponderosa as well. So I'm going to go with Josh Rice. I think if there's a top, and there will be, I think he puts on a show and gets it done on Friday night at Ponderosa.
Well, that's a really good pick, and you talked about it. Larry Yance will have that track ready to go. There's no doubt in my mind that he will have it right ready, and he's been prepping that track longer than we've been alive. So he does an excellent job there, and it's gonna be a packed house, stout field of cars, and in all honesty, anybody can win in the field that's coming on Friday night. But I think both of those picks are good ones with Marlar and Rice. I really do.
Yeah, I think so. So it could, of course, there's going to be, like you said, a lot of drivers there, man. Absolutely stacked field. It could go 100 different directions. So we'll have to wait and see. But Florence Speedway on Saturday night, I'll go first on this one since I gave you Ponderosa. And you picked Marlar on me. I knew you would. At Florence, I'm going to go for a sweep of the weekend and back-to-back. Josh Rice wins Florence Speedway, man. He's just really good there, and I think he gets it done. It's going to be the biggest weekend of his career this week. He's going to sweep the Lucas Oil Bluegrass State weekend here.
Did you all see how he done that to me? He gave me the first pick at Ponderosa, and then so he could have Florence, knowing good and well he's gonna pick the owner. Let's just call it the last couple of years of Florence Speedway, Josh Rice. I see how that was well played.
Yeah, he has dominated there.
I mean, absolutely dominated.
Well, I gave you very first pick. You can't be complaining.
I'm not. I'm just saying it was well played.
I know what I'm doing.
Well, I got somebody in my back pocket though. I'm gonna go
All right,
with
let's see.
Superman. Superman in the 49, Jonathan Davenport for the win at Florence. There you go.
I mean, he could definitely get it done. He's always good at Florence. He's always good everywhere for that matter. But I do have to say, and I'm saying this Jonathan Davenport standards, okay? So,
Yeah.
I mean, but for his standards, he has struggled a little bit here lately. That has to worry you at least a little bit with that pick. I mean, he hasn't been Superman himself, I would say, here lately. So
I agree. And we've talked about it. That's something that you and I have talked about off the air in our races that we went to and kind of been at racetracks and also kept up with what's going on the national circuits. But he really does run good there at Florence. Like you said, he runs good all over the country. But I believe he's going to get it done. He's going to get all his ducks in a row, and he's going to get the win on Saturday night at Florence. I think he kind of breaks out.
yeah, I mean, I think Ricky Thornton Jr. on Friday night, Gager, Turbo. I mean, of course, I think he'll be tough. Of course, Rice. See, Justin Lay, he agrees with me. So I think he's probably going to be. He's probably going to be right. So we've got Hud and Superman. So two good picks there. Hudson, He's won at Ponderosa, man. He's got some laps around that place too. So I mean, he's been good this year. Of course, he's been good the last several years, but he's been really good this year in that race. I mean, he just absolutely went down and smoked them in Florida.
Yeah.
So
and Hud's another one to look out for on Saturday night at Florence. He gets around that place really well.
Yeah. So Caution agrees with you. Marlar Friday night, Rice Saturday night.
Yeah. See, that's
Marlar
good picks.
Friday. Yeah. So there you go. Pond Marlar.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people picked that first pick. I think a lot of people picked you for Marlar on Friday night and then Rice on Saturday. I'd say that's two pretty good picks, and Tim McCready's always good there.
Yeah.
A lot of good talent, of course, with those guys coming in. So really excited about it. Unfortunately, my 7-year-old that I mentioned earlier has a baseball game on Friday night. Well, fortunately, I'm thankful to be able to enjoy those moments. But I won't be able to be at Ponderosa Speedway myself. I hate that. Glad to go there and do the baseball thing. It's awesome. I wouldn't trade anything for it. But I'd love to be at Ponderosa. I know, Wes, you're going to be there, and you're going to have to keep me updated this time.
I got you. And you have to go support Brantley and enjoy them baseball games with him, and I'll keep you updated.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. We'll just have to trade back and forth and do the best we can to keep each other updated on these races coming up, because we're both busy. You busy last weekend, I'm busy this weekend, but we do the best we can. Also, don't forget on Saturday night we do have area tracks running as well. Like I said earlier, Rockcastle Speedway and Thunder Mountain Speedway, both first points night there for those two tracks, and then Mudlick Valley Raceway running this Saturday night as well. So, like I said, all weekend long, Friday night starting with Ponderosa Speedway, and then Saturday night we've got several options there for you. Get out, support your local racetrack. As I said last week, get some dirt in your nachos, man. Those nachos, nachos aren't nearly as good without some dirt in them, so you definitely need to find yourself at a racetrack somewhere this weekend. It's going to be a good weekend for sure.
Yeah, it sure is. One quick thing I wanted to mention before we got off here. A big happy birthday to Caution, Anthony Wiseman.
Oh,
Shout
yeah, I'm
out
glad.
to you, buddy. Yeah.
Saw that. Yep. Happy birthday. Yep. I'm glad you mentioned
Caution.
Yeah, happy birthday, buddy. It's going to be like I said, it's going to be a good one. Another thing, Wes, quickly, I do want to mention as well, our T-shirts.
should be ready by next weekend. That's the plan. That's the goal. That's what we're going for. So just a little look at what we've got going on there. So we'll have those at the racetrack, and our sponsors on the back there, and so yeah, get up with us, buy a T-shirt, please. We greatly appreciate it. We want to get some more equipment to be able to do more fun racing stuff, man, and just keep growing this thing, because it sure is a lot of fun.
Greg says no calls tonight. We need to take a phone call or two tonight.
Well, I don't know if nobody's called. So how am I going to take a phone call when we went through the whole show and nobody calls?
Well, let's take a phone call. Come on.
All right, somebody call us. Wes says we can't get off here till somebody calls the Racetrack Connection hotline. So
let's hear from some fans tonight.
I'd really like to go to bed. So somebody call this hotline. Let's get somebody on the phone here. Tell us what you're looking forward to this weekend. Tell us who your pick is. Tell us if you've been to Lowe's today. If you want to have your tire guy call, you can do that too. But all right, here we go. All right, Greg Miller, you're live here on the Racetrack Connection hotline. We've got a caller. Thank you. But you know what? You're tried and true. We can always count on you.
Hey, there's three things, or there's several things you can count on this world. Me calling in on your show, death, taxes, and running into Wes at the most oddball places, because I ran into him Sunday night at a concert at EKU.
Yeah,
Ashley McBride, baby, that's a good concert. He was the first person I saw when I walked in the door. He said, "Well, there's Worldwide West."
It'll be a good weekend. I hope the weather cooperates. But I'm kind of with Wes. I'm gonna pick Marlar for Friday night, and then I'm gonna go Hudson on Saturday night. So.
That's two good picks.
Yeah,
that's how I think.
That's two good picks, buddy. I could definitely see them two getting it done for sure. No doubt about it.
I also, a couple of years ago when Rice won the Ralph, this actual race, Ralph Latham, him and Hudson, it seemed like they were trading sliders for about 5 or 6 laps in a row. And of course, Rice, I don't think he had much of a spoiler left, but he somehow managed to win it. So, I mean, it was just some real good racing. I think Hudson gets him back this time. So,
yep.
That's a good pick.
Tyler Erb now, he'd be one to watch this weekend too. I say I've always been the biggest fan of his, but when I went to the Dome and he won, and then he, kind of released all the information, I'll say one thing: he's a hell of a lot more of a man than I could ever been.
Yeah.
Going through that week, losing his dad. I mean, I gained the utmost respect for him.
I agree.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was a really cool deal. Yeah, I agree.
My big debut didn't go good this weekend. I got in about 3 laps in the feature and couldn't. Power system was just about gone. I couldn't even turn it. So I was like, "Well, hell, I better pull it in."
Well, hopefully next weekend.
Wasn't my night.
Yeah. Well, hopefully next time will be a better.
Do good, boy. It's hard. It's hard to do when you can't. I ain't good anyways, but man, it's hard to do when you can't steer it, buddy.
Oh, I guarantee it is.
But,
yeah.
Hey, thanks for all y'all do, and I'll let somebody else call in. And I enjoy the show. And once again, thanks for all y'all do, guys.
Yeah, thank you, buddy. We appreciate you. Have a good evening. We'll see you at the races this weekend.
Thank you, Greg.
All
see
right.
you, buddy.
All right, and Ben Petrie, I think that was you that called in just a minute ago. Give us a call back, buddy. I know this is a big weekend for you too, man. We need to talk to you. I couldn't get an answer on that in time, but I think that was you that called the Racetrack Connection hotline. We definitely we need to have a conversation with Ben Petrie
I don't know if you realize it or not, or I don't know. It said his name anyways on the phone, but this is a big weekend for Ben Petrie coming up, and I'll be honest with you, I really feel bad because I almost forgot about it. I mean, we almost went through this whole show and forgot about it. It's huge weekend for him.
Yeah.
All right, I think we might have him on the Racetrack Connection hotline. Ben Petrie, you're live on that Racetrack Connection hotline. How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, boys?
The jockey, what's up, little buddy?
Well, I didn't want to leave Wes hanging high and dry and nobody to talk to, so.
Yeah. You know he's got to have somebody to talk to. He's got to be the last one to leave, too.
Yeah.
Well, this is always true.
Yeah,
yeah, that's for
very
sure.
True.
Well, I'm glad you called in, buddy, because I forgot to mention I had it in my notes and must over it. So much going on here tonight, but this is a huge weekend, and I totally had almost forgot about it. Went through the whole hour, man. But Kentucky Derby coming up this weekend. I know that's something you're excited about. I haven't heard officially yet, but I would assume you're going to be making the debut this weekend.
Well, we was considering running for the Roses, but I think we backed out and going to try to run for the Checkers.
Okay, well, I wish I had that picture. I meant to put it back on here. The world's worst edited. People complaining and said you got to be on the horse, not behind it. But anyways, mostly
Mom can't even tell it, so there you go.
Yeah, and when it all comes down to it, I'll be honest with you, we won't Kentucky Derby anyway. We'd rather see you at a dirt track, so yeah. We'll take it. I'd say you'll be up at Thunder Mountain this weekend, won't you?
That's probably going to be the plans. We was looking to maybe having to be out of town this weekend for a ball tournament. But if the weather holds out, I think we're probably just going to hang tight and probably go to the races.
Good deal.
Well, talk to him, Wes. He got on here to talk to you.
He got on here to
We
talk
hate
to
to
me.
not go up there and support them, man. They've done such a good job up there. If we get the opportunity and we're in town and don't have anything going, we should try to support whoever's racing that night.
Yeah, that's a beautiful place up there. They have one of the nicest facilities, and they have worked their tail off to get open and have you guys a place to race and us to come and watch. And so that's good to hear that you plan on making the trip up there on Saturday night for opening nights of points there at Thunder Mountain. So that'll be good. Yeah, we'd much rather you be at a dirt track than at a horse track.
Well, I don't know. You're the one who started it.
Well,
yeah, that is true. That's all him.
I just told you missed your calling. You just look like a horse jockey, but
yeah.
Especially in that pretty little blue and yellow suit, look just like a horse jockey.
Be nice about blue and yellow.
Speaking of deciding to go to the races this weekend, you've already got 2 feature wins. Am I right about that at Thunder Mountain this year? So pretty good start to the year.
Yeah, I mean it's been good. We're beyond blessed. Hands down, we are beyond blessed. It's been the car's just been good. It's just been on point. I mean, it is a race car, so you never know. Week in, week out, what it's going to do. But we've been blessed thus far for it to be operating properly and handling good, and it's been running smooth.
Yep. Good deal, man. Well, hopefully we can catch you up there here in a couple of weeks. We're going to be able to get to make it back up there. We struggle because there's so many tracks and so many things going on, but we're trying to get around all of our racetracks as much as we can. We love that place up there. Like you said, they've done a great job, and and so we want to get back up there just as soon as we can to see you all, and it's a great place. I mean, it truly is. And if you haven't made your way up there yet, you should do it first opportunity to get up there and check that place out for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the new circuit helped it a lot. It's made it a lot different. But I mean, the past two races that we've run up there, hands down on the track prep. I mean, they've done great. The track stayed phenomenal. It's been nice and smooth. Typical dirt track's gonna have a couple little bumps here and there. Don't get me wrong, but for the most part, track stayed nice and smooth. Even there, I'll even say there a couple weeks ago, we had a run over at Lake Cumberland. Man, it was racy top to bottom. Smooth. Track was in good shape. Hands down to Brandon and them too. They've done a good job over there. So I mean, and as far as our forward plans, even for the season, we're just basically, as of right now, we're just going to bounce, from Burnside to Thunder Mountain, and just hit them as much as we possibly can.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a good plan. It's two good tracks for sure, and wish you the best of the luck this year. And like I said, it's already started off good, so I always enjoy seeing you at the racetrack and talking to you every chance we get for sure.
Yeah, Ben, I know you and I talked on the phone a little bit about this off the air a week or two ago, I guess, but kind of talk about what Thunder Mountain did there with the entrance to 3 on the racetrack.
Well, everybody basically was complaining about it, and saying that coming down the back straightaway, it looked like it was bottleneck and closing up on you getting into 3. They have actually took the inside wall getting into 3 and moved it in probably 6 to 8 feet and opened that corner up a whole lot. So that's just going to help some more side-by-side racing, get off into the corner, and possibly even open up a top groove to that place too. And they're working on that a whole lot. And Dennis he's up there, seems like 24/7, just trying to work and make it better. I mean, it's still fresh. He's still learning it, but he is by no means giving up on trying to make it, as good and as racy as possible.
Yeah. He's worked hard on it and continues to work hard on it, and that's. We got to say that about all of our tracks. They're really working hard and making the track and their facilities the best that it can be, and we appreciate all of our owners and promoters for doing that for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Ben, the one-armed bandit told us to tell you hello.
The one-armed bandit, boys, you better watch him now. He'll drive it with one hand and shift with the same.
That's awesome. Well, Ben, thanks for giving us a call. Wes doesn't have to go to bed tonight disappointed. We had a couple people call the Racetrack Connection hotline, so it's been fun catching up with you and talking to you. Like I said, thanks for being that second caller, because he wasn't going to let me get off here till we had at least 2 people call in. So you saved the night.
Right. Yeah.
I know how Wes is, so I was just trying to.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
We appreciate
Absolutely.
you being, and good luck this weekend, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, man. Have a good evening. Ben Petrie saves the day. Thanks for him for doing that. Listen, he makes up for skipping out on the run for the roses on us this weekend, since he at least called the hotline. We'll let it slide this time. Hopefully maybe next year we can see him on a thoroughbred. We'll just have to wait and see. But he is the jockey, and he can't live that down.
No, he fits it to a T.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. Well, let's go ahead real quick here before we jump off and thank all of our sponsors. We certainly appreciate all of these folks, they've made it possible for us to do a lot of these things, be able to take those phone calls and do some stuff at the track that we're going to be able to do more of coming up here. Some of the stuff we did at Rockcastle a few weeks ago, we'll be able to do some more of that, and hopefully even better as time moves on. And Brandon Hargrove says the weather is looking better for Friday. Absolutely, it is. We can't wait. And we can't wait for to be there. Wes is going to be there. I'll be at a Little League baseball game. Unfortunately, I have to miss this one, but I hope everybody can get out to Kentucky's Baddest Bull Ring on Friday night and support them. And I hope it's standing room only, man. And I wouldn't be surprised if it is.
Everybody come out Friday night to the Baddest Bull Ring there, Ponderosa Speedway, one of my favorite tracks in the country. I have always loved and enjoyed Ponderosa there in Junction City. It's just it's an awesome racetrack. I love it there, and it's cool, especially when the big boys come to town with the Lucas Oil Series. So everybody come out and support them on Friday night.
Yep, absolutely. Well, and then like I said, also on Saturday, I want to try to get this in because we switched it up and did it earlier in the show as well. But after Ponderosa on Friday night, of course, Lucas Oil will be at Florence on Saturday night. But then also Rockcastle, Thunder Mountain, Mud Lick, they're all running on Saturday night. So pick a track, go support your local tracks, and let's all have a good weekend at the races. But thanks to Smokehouse Grill and Buffet, Racetrack Connect, Bluegrass Restoration and Construction, the Detail Shop, Extreme Style Signs and Graphics, Fast Track Racing Series, Ultimate Super Late Model Series, Dirtman Diecast, CT Promotions, Mudlick Valley Raceway, Richmond Raceway, Rockcastle Speedway, Thunder Mountain Speedway, Lake Cumberland Speedway, Ponderosa Speedway, Ironman Late Model Series, and the Ironman Bruce Built Performance Modified Series. Thank you to all those fine folks. Wes, it's been another fun show. It's going to be a big weekend here in the Bluegrass State, one of our biggest of the year. We will see all of you at the races.
See you guys. Y'all have a great weekend.